Hello and welcome to my channel. My name even is Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and we are on the final week of Adventurous Sky Coffee and Card in July 2024, and this is today's card. So lots of designer series paper here, using as a background and as to support our little aeroplanes. I'm loving this. I've loved the whole lot of this Take to the Sky designer series paper. It's absolutely gorgeous and works very well with this set. Right, okay, so in your kit you have got lots of little bits. So we've got an A4 bookfold card, so that's 21 centimetres by 14.85, scored at 10.5 centimetres, and you need to use your thick basic white for this. The normal basic white isn't thick enough, I don't think, to make a card blank. Beautiful. I'm going to put my teeth back in. Beautiful for stamping on, not very good for making card bases. Right, so that's our base. And then we have your envelope. Got a little twinge on it. A piece of, now this is Boho Blue, and on this one I stamped in Boho Blue. On the one I'm doing now I'm actually going to stamp with Misty Moonlight, but I think any of our blues would work. And this is 0.5 centimetre smaller, so it's 10 centimetres by 14.4. And then we have a bit of white to do your aeroplanes on. We're using the middle aeroplane and the smallest aeroplane today. And then a circle for your sentiment, and then we've got our designer series paper, again 0.5 centimetre smaller than the Boho Blue. The measurements are all in the details if you want to check. And then I've punched out 4 circles, so there we go. So that's for the sentiment, that's for the little aeroplane, and that's for the bigger aeroplane. Just checking, that looks smaller but it's not. Let me get my ruler out and tell you which punches I've used for that. So we are looking at, so that's 2 3/8, so that's the biggest punch we do. This one I've used the 1.5 inch punch, which unfortunately is retired, and this one I'm sure is the 1 3/4. It is. So 2 3/8, 1 3/4, 1.5, and that's 1.5 too. Right, so shall we get started? Got everything, so we just need the stuff for stamping first of all. Okay, right, so 2 aeroplanes. The other thing I'm using actually is I'm actually using a pencil, one of the watercolour pencils in Cajun Craze, to colour in my aeroplane to get a much more subtle effect. So any reddy brown would do, or a blue, or you know, whatever you want really. But I've used Cajun Craze because that's the colour that we've used, that the designers used in the stamping, in the designer series paper. My lips are not working today. Right, obviously need more coffee. So I'm going to stamp the 2 aeroplanes. They will both fit on this little piece, I promise. So in fact I remembered as I was, just after I'd put everything together, that when I made this card I actually put both planes on the same block. Just put them both on a D block and stamp them both at the same time. So there we go. So this time, as I say, I was in Boho Blue, now I'm in Misty Moonlight, and then I'm just going to stamp my sentiment. And I've just used Happiest Father's Day, so a bit late for this year, nice and early for next. Just stamping that in the middle there. There we go. So that's all my stamping done. And then I'm just going to colour in the body of the aeroplane quite lightly in the Cajun Craze. I just want a sort of a hint of it, just quickly. Okay, so it's quite pale. Much more subtle effect than we've had earlier in the month using the blender pens. I mean, you can use the blenders if you want to go darker, that's fine. So, just putting in very light second layer here. It's up to you how dark and how light you want it and how much of the plane you want to colour, but I'm quite happy with that. It just gives that subtle effect. So put that over there, and we're die cutting. So we're using these two dies today. So as I say, we've got the middle and the smallest planes, and using our Craft Perfect die tape again. I always used to use washi tape, but I also used to find it leave a little bit of residue. Sort of the glue would ooze out of the side of your tape, which doesn't happen with this die tape. So and again, just lining those up so we can see the outline around the edge of the die. Obviously you can do it without die tape if you want, but you would need to line it up on the platform of your die cutting machine. Again, so a few of you haven't got the dies, so you're just fussy cutting this bit out. Oh. There it is. I couldn't find my mini machine. I mean, I know it's small, but it's not that small, it disappears. Right. Just pop these out the way. There we go. Just going to pop that on the die cutting platform and send it through. Remembering keeping your fingers away from the rollers. Oops. Come on. Put that out. So there you go. Right. So there's our die cutting. Now, one thing I did think about when I was making this card is I wanted it to look like a fly pass, not a dive bomb. Because originally I sort of had the planes doing this and it looks like they're dive bombing, which is why I've had them sort of pointing a little bit up so it looks less like they're attacking us. So let's put the card together. Glue, glue, glue. So nice and simple, just layering up the front. I haven't put a sentiment inside, but doesn't mean you can't, obviously. And also you can put whatever sentiment you want on the front. Makes a nice male birthday card. Particularly if the males in your family, like mine, aren't into fishing. Or particularly sports, to be honest. But they do like to travel. And of course my husband flies, so he has his private pilot's license. So it's a bit of a no-brainer buying this set, obviously. Nope, that's that one. So you want the smallest circle and the biggest circle, and then you're finishing off with this circle here. So let's pop this on first. Get some dimensionals. So, as this is the last week, normally I show you what we're doing next month, but it hasn't actually arrived. And I can't remember its actual name, but I will send my regulars. I'll send you details so you can decide. But it's a set of circle dies with lovely patterns. It's going to annoy me now that I can't remember what it is. So let me quickly have a look in the catalogue if I can see it. Still haven't got used to the new layout for the catalogue yet, but I know there is a page of bundles. Let's see if I recognise the name. Sorry, I digress. LM. No, it's not an N. Sorry, I'll have to let you know. It'll come to me just as I finish videoing it. I'll remember. Right. But it's like foliage stamps with, and then it's got these circles in with patterned borders, which are rather nice. Okay, so I've left the big one where I wanted it, so I can just slide that in underneath and then stick this one on. And then the more observant of you will notice I've gone a bit off piste, because on this one I didn't put a dimensional between the white and the blue. I actually put the dimensionals underneath, so but I'm actually going to leave. I'll leave that until I've done the others. Right. I'm trying to pick up the ones that are already on the card. So, big uns and little uns. So I'm just putting the little ones sort of on the smaller areas of the plane. And probably most of the little one. It's tiny. So let's put that somewhere else. It was just showing. There we go. Big one. There we go. And as I said, I wanted these to look like they're just flying by, not that they're dive bombing. So if I put that one where I want it, and then I'll put this one, stick this one down parallel. Onto the circle, because you can't really follow the way that the planes on the background paper are doing, because they're all over the place. And then this one, I'm just doing it by eye, it's not an exact science. And then I'm just going to stick that there. Okay, so as I say, on this one I did dimensionals under the circle. On this one I've done today, I've done dimensionals between the two. And I don't want to have to pay the extra to post it in the UK, so I am just going to glue this flat. There we go, nice simple quick card, making full use of the designer series paper. The one with the contour and the plain is the same paper, just either side of it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Take care, and I shall see you with the mystery coffee and card for next month. Bye.